We've talked about using horizontal lines to put in support and resistance areas that will tell you that there are important areas in the charts where price will turn, price will struggle, price will break through. Those are all areas where something will happen with price. So I hope you guys played around a little bit with those lines on your own charts, and I remember when I discovered that those lines were that important, I really improved my trading. So let's start with that for now. Of course, we can see this is the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Of course, we can see we have a low over here. This is the weekly chart. We see that price is struggling when it comes into this area. Then we see that this is a important area as well, and that is very important for the place we're at right now. I see another one that I want to draw on here, and that's this one, I think, for now, because price didn't go through here. And this is another one I'm going to draw on for now, because it's pretty obvious price struggled over here, over here, over here. So that's on the weekly. Let's zoom into the daily chart. What we see over here is, let me see, of course we see the same levels. When I draw in a trend line, we see another interesting thing going on here. The trend line seems to hold. Maybe we can extend it, but for now this is where we're looking at. That being said, those lines, we drew those lines in. I go back to the weekly, because what I want to talk about today is supply and demand zones. As you can see here, this is an important area where price seems to struggle. You see, every time price moves in, it falls back into this range here. It took quite some time. The bulls and the bears couldn't figure out who was winning this battle, but eventually the bears won again. We came here and the bears won again, and we moved in lower. So this is an important zone, a supply zone. That's very important. Let me draw that in, that we got a supply zone up here, and down here we have, of course this is an important zone, but we are right now trading in this area as well. When price was up here, I would have drawn a demand zone over here, because we see that price 1, 2, 3 around here as well, around here as well, around here. This is a zone where very often price struggled, but for now we've moved past that zone. So the level I'm looking at right now is this horizontal line. When this support holds, we can see some potential to go up. When it breaks, we can, ideally, we want to see this one move into this area, and around here I would consider going long. Right now, the way I look at this chart, it is like we are in the middle of this range. This is obviously also some kind of range on the weekly, so it's a very big one, but round numbers, we talked about round numbers as well. This line here is around a round number, so of course this one again is an important one. I drew in supply over here. Let me point out that the demand zone is over here. Demand zone. Let me get that in. Down here we see a demand zone. So what do I want to see? How do I want to trade this ideally? As far as I know, we are not getting any strange decisions from the central banks of nor Australia or New Zealand, so we don't have to think about quantitative easing or things like that. That obviously put a currency in a nice trend. I would like to see it ideally move a little bit lower into this zone over here. This is a great place to go long, if you ask me. Of course, the round number 1 will always hold. That's to me, that's the ultimate stop loss. from here on out, I think when we move back, we will move again into this area. We will probably move into this area as well. You know the drill, that every previous support and resistance zone will be some struggling going on. So you never know once you enter here if you can make the ride all the way up to here. But we have indicators for that. We have price action to read along the way when this trade develops. So let's keep that in mind. I'll put it in like this. That eventually there is a huge up move, but first we want to like to see it go down. Another scenario is if this doesn't work out, we can always see where to enter once price decides to turn, because another thing we see on this chart, of course, for now is that we made a low over here, and now we don't see another lower low yet. We don't see a higher high as well, so this is quite an area of indecision. I don't want to get into the technicals, into the indicators that much today, but if we use a relative strength index, we see that price is actually pretty much doing what the relative strength index is saying. We see some divergence, so that's interesting. I put this on. Over here we see already that price is losing some of the downward momentum. We see here a low, a lower low. Here we see divergence on the RSI because we see a low and a higher low already. So I think we are probably in the transition of a trend, so a potential long could be in. When we draw in the Bollinger Bands as well, since we already had it, we can see that we're struggling around the moving average, so keep a close look on this moving average. Once this breaks and we start to see a pattern with higher highs, lower lows, always price action is the key in these kind of decisions. Then we have a very nice trade. For now, another scenario, of course, would be if we eventually move back into this demand zone. These are great opportunities to go short again, but always keep in mind that if that level, this one, once we come there, if this level breaks, we can also see a potential breakout from here as well with more upside potential. So recap, supply and demand zones, those are zones where buyers and sellers are struggling. As you can see here in the supply zone, price struggled first, it struggled to go through. That's what we see over here. Let's extend it a little bit. It came back, it got rejected, it came back, it got rejected a second time. Then we had a nice move down here. We came back, it got rejected. For this is a weekly chart, so we moved into this zone for almost 3 to 4 months. We filed back, we came over here again, and this is the pattern we are seeing the last couple of weeks, because this is actually 2013, so this has been going on for 3 years now. So this is a really big range on the weekly chart. The demand zone is not that obvious. Like I said, this of course is the ultimate demand zone, but seeing this, I also think this is a demand zone as well, because we can see price struggled over here, it struggles here, it struggles here, and now it's struggling again, and we are seeing a divergence on the RSI already, and the first attack is just going on the moving average. So I will definitely put this one on my watch list. I don't think, well, maybe we'll see another move, maybe another squeeze and we can get in around here. It's not that important for now. Demand zone, price is likely to turn around here, and we see another nice move back up. So keep that in mind, guys. Supply and demand are areas where you should consider going long or short, and never make those kind of decisions when you're in the middle of the trade. So good luck, and see you next time.